Hi, and welcome back to Mia, Stories of Love, Lies, and Revenge. Today's story is about love, boundaries, and the moment when one man realized that even the deepest feelings may not be enough to survive the chaos that came after. This story comes from someone I know. Let's call him Jason. Jason is 37, a full-time professional engineer, but more importantly, he's a full-time single father of two beautiful little girls, aged 6 and almost 9. He lost his wife a few years ago. She left when their kids were just toddlers, and then passed away not long after the divorce. Since then, it's been Jason and his girls against the world. About a year ago, Jason met someone new, a woman, 34 years old, who we'll call Rachel. Rachel had 3 kids of her own, a 15-year-old daughter, a 14-year-old son, and a 9-year-old daughter. Jason fell for her quickly. They clicked. They had adventures, snowboarding, kayaking, romantic getaways, quiet nights once the kids were asleep. Jason truly thought this might be the one. He imagined blending their families, moving in together, starting fresh. Things were going well until something small cracked the surface, something that at first glance shouldn't have been such a big deal. Jason's brother came to visit, along with his family. They only visit once or twice a year, and it's always a big event. Jason's mother, who lives close by and is a huge help in his life, hosted dinner for the whole family. Rachel was there too, but this dinner didn't go as planned. According to Jason, Rachel, who's known to swear a bit, was cursing loudly throughout the entire meal. Not just a damn here and there, but F-bombs and vulgar language in front of all the kids. Jason didn't say anything at the time, but his mother gave Rachel a look. A natural reaction maybe, but one Rachel took very personally. She left quickly after dinner. No hugs, no goodbyes, completely unlike her usual warm self. The next day, Rachel said she wanted to spend the whole day with Jason and his girls. She just needed to go home and get pretty first. Jason and the kids were excited. But as the hours passed, Rachel didn't come. She kept texting things like, "I'll be there soon." But she didn't show up until around 4 p.m., hours after she said she'd arrive. Jason tried to keep things light. He told his family she was coming early, so it felt awkward. He brushed it off, but inside, he felt let down. After Jason's brother left town, he gently brought it up with Rachel. He told her he doesn't like being told one thing and seeing another. He would have been fine if she said she needed the day to herself, but being strung along, especially when the kids were involved, didn't sit right with him. Rachel didn't take it well. She said he was comparing her to his ex. She said his mum was comparing her to the ex, that Jason expected her to be there every second, to mold herself to fit into the family. Jason tried to clarify that wasn't the case. He even said, "I get it, new environments, meeting family, that's overwhelming. Take your time, but I just need you to be honest." Then the conversation turned toward the dinner. Rachel brought up Jason's mum giving her dirty looks. So Jason said it. "Maybe it was because you were dropping F-bombs at the dinner table in front of the kids." Rachel was furious. According to Jason, it was like he had told her everyone hated her and wanted her to be someone else. She said, "I'm not going to censor myself for anyone." She told Jason that if he had a problem with it, it was his problem, not hers. Then came the next big moment, Jason's daughter's birthday. Jason had a busy day. He coaches her basketball team, so the plan was to take her out for dinner and then do something special on Halloween. Rachel said she wanted to cook dinner. Jason agreed, until Rachel said she didn't want Jason's mom involved at all. Didn't want her there, didn't want her to help, nothing. Jason, already exhausted from the emotional tension, said he wasn't going to play referee. "If you have an issue with my mom, talk to her directly," he said. "Tonight is about my daughter." Rachel lashed out again. She said Jason wasn't respecting her boundaries, that he was making her feel like the bad guy, that everything was his fault for not protecting her from this toxic environment. Finally, she backed out of cooking dinner and cancelled her Halloween plans with the family too. At this point, Jason was emotionally drained. All he wanted was to celebrate his daughter. All he wanted was to share a moment as a family, but everything had turned into drama. He felt like Rachel had made it all about her, not about the kids, not about healing relationships, just her own hurt and pride. But he couldn't say that to her, because he knew if he did, it'd be like telling her she was ugly, unloved, and unwanted, and he didn't want to break her heart. Jason told me maybe I missed the signs, the red flags, maybe I was too in love to notice. Their first year had been beautiful, but now, every small miscommunication turned into a war. He stood his ground and told her he'd be celebrating the birthday quietly, just with the kids and his mom. Rachel didn't take it well. She threatened to end the relationship entirely, before pulling back, and instead sent him messages like, "I ruin everything." Jason replied, "We need to talk about this in person. Let's meet this weekend." He didn't expect to see her on Halloween either, and maybe he wouldn't see her again at all. Jason is a kind man, a patient father, a loving partner, but even the kindest hearts need peace. This story isn't about who's right or wrong. It's about knowing when something is becoming too much, knowing when love starts to feel like a burden instead of a joy, and understanding that a relationship where one person can't hear your truth isn't a relationship that can grow. I don't know what Jason will decide, but I do know this. You deserve to be in a relationship where your voice is heard, where your kids feel safe, where your honesty isn't seen as an attack. Sometimes, loving someone isn't enough. Sometimes, we have to love ourselves more. If you connected with Jason's story, please leave a comment. Let him and others know they're not alone. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Mia, Stories of Love, Lies and Revenge, for more real emotional stories that speak to the heart. Until next time, stay strong, stay true, and protect your peace.